the death of cryptocurrency, or just simply the idea of crypto going back down for the average kind of retail investor, is certainly a terrifying thing. It's a scary thing. It can keep you awake at night. You can sometimes just try your best not to check your portfolio when you know things have turned in the red. So I just want to kind of talk about kind of Bitcoin, some altcoins, some things that you should look out for in this current state of play of the market, because we did have that massive euphoric rush up to the Bitcoin halving. And, you know, the classic thing is that you do get that post-Bitcoin halving sort of crash or correction. But I also kind of think that these markets are almost, call me crazy, but seasonal. And I think when the sun starts to shine in most temperate countries, whether that be England, Europe, I don't know, America, Japan, wherever, I think people kind of switch off a little bit. And I think after 3 months of kind of euphoria and just absolute greed and craziness, you do need those other cool down periods. Naturally, it's the same thing. If you're working really hard 4 months straight, every day doing your best, you're going to need a good 1 week or 2 weeks just to cool down for yourself. Maybe you go away, maybe you just book a few days off work. So just kind of want to talk about, where we are from a historical point of view. Let's begin with, for example, Bitcoin and what happens every time there's a halving. So we can kind of see, I don't know how well you can see this chart. We can see here in 2013, the halving took place over here in sort of December of 2012, 2013. And then afterwards, it took a good 6 months for Bitcoin to actually take off and start to rally. We can see in 2016, there was another halving. And when that happened, Bitcoin didn't really do anything again for a good few weeks. In fact, it was boring. It actually went down from $600 to like $585. It went down in price, as you can see right there. Then fast forward, guys, to 2020. That massive halving we had, which was around the COVID period. Obviously, we had COVID push Bitcoin down to about $3,000 then. It's what we call a black swan event, when you can't control something that happens in the markets, but it creates a massive shock on the price. And then we had the halving in May of 2020. Around May, nothing happened again for a good 5-6 months. And then it took off. So I am kind of thinking, can we see Bitcoin just sort of do nothing for 4, 5, 6 months, take us into the back end of 2024? I'm going to get that last massive run to the upside. That is what we're hoping to see with the state of play. So just really wanted to talk about kind of Bitcoin. If we look as well, 2020, we had that very bullish halving. We could see April, even during that bullish period, April, May, June were pretty red. And even historically, just looking at 2019, very red month. So red during the summer is not an unknown thing. In fact, if you look at June just as a whole, 50% of the days are red. If you look at May as a whole, 50% of the days are red. July, maybe about 30% of the days are red. August is typically a really bad month as well. So I wouldn't be really too reliant on having a solid summer. But you can see that October is a very good month. Traditionally, in fact, 80% of these days or months are green. November is also strong. December 50-50, but I think if there is a bull market, things can look good. So I would hope to think that January of 2025 can be a great time. I hope to think we have got still one last huge pump happening. Now, with altcoins, what you don't want to happen is coins to fall back into their accumulation zone. So if we just look at Bitcoin, what we really don't want to happen for Bitcoin right now is Bitcoin to go back into its accumulation range. We don't want to see these 50% corrections. We don't want to see a correction that exceeds at all 50%. So from the top, where we hit 73K, we do not want Bitcoin at all to go anywhere near, ideally for me, $40,000. And what we especially don't want is Bitcoin to go back to the price before that October, November breakout. If it goes back to 26K, 30K, things could look extremely bearish for the markets. But if we just had a typical 30% correction from the top, so I'm talking maybe a little touchdown to $50,000, and I think that could happen. A $50,000 touchdown, not really a bad thing, and we can sort of trade sideways for a good amount of time, even in that range. If we came down to $50,000, even if we hit sort of medium 40,000s, I think if we traded here to say, let's say October, that is healthy, that is really good. You can see here where we had that consolidation phase from December 23, consolidated in that sort of window for 68 days. So I think as long as we do not put through like a lower high that's lower than this kind of November, October period, I think we should be, hopefully okay. So that's something I'm also considering, that we could come down a lot lower in price. 50k region is healthy. We could even trade there in that region between $48,000 to $52,000 for maybe 2 or 3 months. And if that happened, I wouldn't really have a problem. So how can we also compare this with altcoins? Well, it's kind of similar. Altcoins have had a mad rush. Altcoins are more volatile. The supply is different. There's more inflation. There's more token dilution. Unlike Bitcoin, which is not really seeing inflation and a massive increase of supply ever really. So for this, we can go back into the time where we see basically October, November, this period here for Solana. We do not want to see Solana go back to $60, go back to $20, go back to $30. Not yet. Not right now, because it just wouldn't be good. If we look at the price structure from the top, you can see Solana did correct 43%. If Solana comes down 60% again to $77, I would not be worried. But if Solana for some reason went really low from that particular top there, what we don't want to happen is it going down 80%. If it went down like 80%, to me that's really, really bearish. Would not be good for the markets. But as long as coins like Solana can hold themselves in the sort of 50-60% range maximum, and it hasn't actually done that from the top, it's only actually corrected right now from here to here 45%. So as long as it doesn't go any lower than 60%, which is still really pushing it on this particular swing high to swing low, we don't want to see a bigger swing low. We should be, again, pretty fine. Let's also look at Optimism, another meme coin. Sorry, not meme coin, another altcoin here. Massive super chain token. If we look at what happened from the top here, it's probably going to be a good 40-50% correction. And it's an altcoin, it's not a terrible thing. Actually, it did 60%, but it has displayed a big comeback. It has bounced to the upside from there by 70%. So we're still getting that bullish momentum. But again, gotta be careful that these coins don't fall too low, because for example, if Optimism now corrects 80% plus, and I think one day in time it will come back down to these lower dollar levels, but that would be in the bear market, the real bear market. So that could be another indicator of a bear market happening. Now, other indicators, Google Trends, look at the term for crypto, look at the term for Bitcoin. So we can compare these terms, and you can see right now, looking over the last 12 months, for both of these terms, worldwide search volume over the last 12 months, well, it could actually suggest that we're getting search volume levels similar to before the major breakout happened. March and April of this year, there was tons of volume because of the Bitcoin halving and all the hype that surrounded it. We are seeing a pullback on that search volume. Not necessarily a bad thing, as long as it doesn't go too low and get too stagnant like it did over here, where the crypto keyword only had a score of 11. Right now, it's still got 16. So people are losing a bit of interest. Retailers are losing a bit of interest, but it's not, again, a bad thing. So I just think as long as we don't fall too low, it's not a big problem really in the markets. We can even look at Shiba Inu, which is holding very well, and I think for a meme coin which only has very transient and short cycles, I think this doesn't look too bad either. Did a 60% correction, similar to Solana, similar to Optimism. They're all kind of following the same path and structure, so it's not looking terrible, guys. I think we just need time to cool off, and time to have a few red months. Of this year so far, we've had 4 green months. May is pending a close. We don't know if it will close red or green, but overall we just need a little bit of cool down, and that's completely normal in the financial markets. 20, 30, 40% correction on average shouldn't be too bad. You can even see in 2020, 2021, there were some red months with like big dips, 35% dip, 24% dip. 2023, November, October was where things started to get bullish. So we've had a 14% dip here for April. That was a red month, but on average we're still much higher on the quarter. You can see Q1 was up 60%, Q2 down 12%. 2020, we know Q3 was where things picked up. Q2 was actually a minus 40% on 2021, but that was actually, I believe, the end kind of the bull market. And there's another indicator I also want to show you actually, which could also be quite significant on the BLX chart on this time frame here. What happened? This is highlighting Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin over a weekly time frame. Now we can turn this to logarithmic, but you can see what happened in 2020 21, February, was Bitcoin hit its all-time high that we saw at $62,000. And when this happened, the relative strength index on the weekly was 94. Then what did happen for Bitcoin, actually, hang on a sec. So, yeah, December 2020, Jan 21. So we can see that RSI right here. It was massively high, 94. It came down to 42. The relative strength index came down to 42, as you can see. Over here, we had our December, came down to even lower than that. But when it happened, when it hit 42 here, that's when Bitcoin actually had like a bearish divergence and went back up in price. So pretty crazy to see the RSI come down. Then Bitcoin hit an all-time high right here, but you can see the RSI, the relative strength index, was actually lower when that happened. So Bitcoin hit its all-time high here in November 2021 with a lower relative strength index. So what if we had something similar happen where, you know, we had that recent all-time high, then the RSI comes down to these levels, then it does actually pop back off to this region here, maybe 69. We get that classic bearish divergence where the price is going up, you see here, but the RSI is going down. And that could be another outcome. You know, we could see that happen. I'm not saying it won't happen, not saying it will happen. It's just something to also consider, guys. So would say there's no reason to be terrified in these markets. I think we could still come down to $50,000. But what we want to see is $50,000 and then hopefully one last pump to the upside. Realistically, we might only hit $90,000. We might only hit $100,000. But it's still something. It's still progress. It's still... you know, again, it's still a very, very bullish event and a historical event as well for cryptocurrency. Now, guys, if you're new to these markets or not new, but you're looking for trading signals, I am delivering in my Discord channel over 500 trading signals every single month for you lovely people. So if you need extra hand holding during these markets, if you want more signals, more exposure to hopefully some big alt gems, as well as meme coins, as well as pre-sales, as well as stealth launches, everything is in the Patreon down below. Do feel free to have a look at my Crypto Legend package for $100 a month, or you've got the Crypto Champion package at $60 a month, and a few other more budget-friendly options. Thanks for all the support. There's so many of you guys, and I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we can optimize our product even more. You can see, did a recent call here for an altcoin called PBUX, and it's up massively. VIPs are happy in the group. We're sharing insights, thoughts, analysis, and of course the general chat. You guys are welcome to be here. There's over 23,000 of you lovely people in the Discord, so please do join the Discord down below. Just check out the Patreon, at least have a little look at it if you want to make some more money in the crypto markets. And thanks for watching this video. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel if you wish to hit your crypto goals, and yeah, comment down below, like the video, come say hello in Discord and ask any questions that you might have. See you soon, stay crypto safe, and bye for now.